All right, what in the world is going on here? Like, it's starting to really drive me nuts. We have a government, a federal government, that's effectively in chaos. Let me explain. So, you have bills, you have spending things, like anything to do with a tax, anything to do with not a tax, anything to do with money in government. This is really important. It's supposed to be voted on in the Commons. That's it. It's got to go through a normal process. Everything to do with the budget, everything to do with changes. Like let's give an example. So the government decided we're going to change the capital gains system, the calculations. We're going to change it. Now, that bill hasn't actually gone through yet, but CRA is using the new calculation. Is that actually legal? Like, there's always these arguments. There's always arguments. Well, no, it's done under good faith, and this is commonly happens in government. But hold on a minute. Like, there may be no government. Like, the government may be suspended. Everybody uses the word prorogue. Prorogue's kind of, who the hell knows what that means? It's some ancient word. So let's just say suspended. We're going to suspend Parliament for 90 days, 120 days, whatever it is. Well, at that point, all legislation dies. It's finished. Like that's the end of that Parliament. Okay, so the legislation is dead. So if you haven't passed this change in capital gains calculation, how is it legal for CRA to collect it? I'll give you another one. I'll give you this extension of the deduction for charities because of the mail strike, which somehow everybody thought was fine. Instead of bringing it to an end within 2 weeks, it went 6 weeks. But and then they brought it to an end. So, like, what was the point, right? Like, if you had your choice of 2 weeks versus 6 or 7 weeks, why did you pick 7 weeks? Like, I don't get it. Anyway, charitable donations dried up because it's huge. Charitable donations before Christmas and New Year's is huge, right? And it just dried up because a lot of older people send money through the mail, and a lot of they use old-fashioned systems to appeal for donations through the mail. Okay, so they just, well, here's what we're going to do. We want to help our charities in Canada, so we're going to extend the donation because you get a tax deduction for giving to charity. We're going to extend it into February. Great. But that's, again, a spending tax-related thing. So I don't think it can just be an order in council. Like, I don't pretend to be a public policy scholar or parliamentary scholar, but I'm just starting to add all this stuff up. No, but hold on a second. Let's get more serious about this because because everybody knows something's got to happen. We've got every caucus of the Liberal Party has published that they want the Prime Minister to resign. So his own party, the people who vote for things in Parliament, who are his members, his MPs, who are Liberal MPs, are saying, you got to go. You must go. We're voting to say go. And then we got every opposition party, the Bloc, Conservatives, NDP, have all made it clear. The minute we can, we're going to vote non-confidence in the government, and you're going to be gone, and there's going to be an election. So the only rational alternative left for the Prime Minister is just to suspend Parliament, say that he's going to step down, and call a leadership convention. That's fine. But we don't know anything right now. We know nothing. So let me give you the worst thing. We got the Trump administration is coming in on the 20th of January. On the 20th of January, he is the new president. Everybody in the White House is gone, and he is calling all the shots. And we won't have a functional government. We won't. I mean, either it's just the Prime Minister holding on by his fingernails to try to do something, or he's suspended Parliament and they're waiting for a leadership convention. So there's no effective government. Sure, the cabinet's still there. There's a caretaker, but there's no effective government because all of the political parties are in opposition who hold a majority of the votes have said, we're going to get rid of them. Okay. So this is how crazy this is. Like, the Trump people say, we're not going to talk to you. We're not going to negotiate with you. We're not even going to listen to you. You are gone. Your government is toast. You're finished. Somebody else is going to come in. We're not going to listen to you. We're not going to negotiate with you. We're not going to talk to you about anything. We're done with you. So there's where we're at. Look, I'm old. So when I was a kid, ministers, cabinet ministers, and all kinds of things, people would resign just on some kind of honorable point. Like, there was a guy, a cabinet minister, who is, I think this guy might be sleeping with a woman who is maybe associated with the Soviet Union, and boom, he resigns. Yeah, okay, I quit because I got to do the honorable thing. There is no semblance of that in Ottawa today. Everything in politics today is just, what new scheme, what new strategy, what new direction can I go to try to hold on when nobody wants me, but maybe there's a way, maybe there's something I could do. Nobody would, what happened to just saying, yeah, looks like they really want me gone. It makes no sense to stay. It's bad for the country. I need to do something to either hold an election and they can just beat me solid, or I'll step down and there'll be a leadership convention. Then there'll be an election. But no, we don't do any of that stuff. We just go day to day, not knowing, government in chaos, total chaos. Hey, look, I know Harper suspended Parliament. Prime Minister Harper suspended Parliament. But when he did it, he didn't have everybody in his party voting for him to leave. He did not do that, okay? This is different. This is crazy.